One very useful concept to help you restore your metabolism is the idea of movement versus exercise. Now, exercise are the things that you do with the intention of exercise, where you're raising your heart rate, you're getting breathless, you're going for a muscle burn, you're taking classes, you're doing things in a timed way for the purpose of exercise. And it can be useful for your metabolism. It can also be the reason why your metabolism is derailed in the first place, depending on how you go about it. And then there is movement, which is all of the movement you do throughout the course of a day, and all of your activities of daily living, just fidgeting around like I am, walking around to pick out groceries. All of those things would be under that non-exercise associated movement. And they're, in fact, although you feel like we should get extra credit for exercise, the non-exercise associated movement throughout a day is a bigger player in our overall metabolism, and it burns more calories. So it's something we really would like to see improve, and it can only help your metabolism. Now, the tricky bit is this is the unconscious movement. And so how do you increase something that is largely unconscious? And so I've got 3 actionable ideas for you. One is movement begets movement. And so to start your day, especially first thing in the morning when you are so open to being primed for anything and everything throughout the day, is to do a short, pleasurable 3-minute, no more than 10-minute morning movement routine. Now, not an exercise routine. This is not to be painful or sweaty or intense or muscle burn, or this is not squats and planks or anything like that. This is really about putting all of your joints through some range of motion, feeling some blood movement, some lymph, some energy. I've pasted 3 links below this video of some ideas for how to go about that. Another way to get more benefit out of that, and once that becomes a habit, habits are behaviors that happen without decision, then you're into that unconscious category, that place that doesn't tax on your willpower, the beauty place, is to make a point to notice the pleasure, no matter how small, and the attractiveness of movement, because unconsciously we're programmed to avoid pain, to conserve energy, which means to be sedentary and avoid movement, but to seek pleasure, and that can trump the other 2. So if you can increase the pleasure association, increase the attractiveness of movement, which you will if you just simply pay attention to it, because whatever you pay attention to grows. And pay attention to all the side benefits, like the freedom you get to not be trapped having to circle the parking lot trying to find the very closest parking spot, when you can just freely and easily walk across the parking lot, or park 5 blocks away and get free parking. Bringing that little bits of attention, and the morning movement routine is a great one to do that. Another one to do that is the body scan, where you just find some kind of cue, something in the day that would remind you to do this. I have a perfect one. Anytime you find yourself in a sit to wait to sit situation, which happens all the time. It's the sitting and waiting for a table in the restaurant to go sit, sitting in the gates of the airport to get on an airplane so you go sit, sitting in the movie theater to wait for your movie theater to open so you can go in and sit. The sit to wait to sit. Sitting in the doctor's office to wait and then go to the second office where you then sit. Anytime you're in a sit to wait to sit situation, use that as a cue to do a body scan. Just close your eyes 30 seconds and just scan your body mentally top to bottom and ask yourself, what part of my body wants to move? What would feel good right now? What part feels the most like it would like to move? And if you honestly don't come up with anything, that's fine. Then just stand up, stretch, move everything around in all the different directions questions and ask yourself, which one felt the best? How do I feel differently now? And then you'll start to get louder signals from your body because you paid attention and then you responded to that. You'll get more move me, kinds of things. You'll just, you just start to lean into it, and it starts to happen more and more on an unconscious way. And these little things, just, being a little more fidgety, stretching a little bit more often, prevents injuries, increases blood flow, creates a better mind-body connection, and it just grows and grows and grows. And over the course of, days and years, it's going to make a huge impact in your metabolism. So those things, the pleasure piece, the attention, and the morning movement routine are really ways to kind of internally make your body a more movement-friendly environment. But you can also use your external world and habits and cues to support more movement. Make little policies of bringing in the groceries one bag at a time, and then you're actually carrying something heavy while you walk, which has its own benefits, or going to run your errand on a bicycle once a week. Stop signs, and anytime you get a phone call or you hear a text signal, as a reminder to stand up. And this doesn't mean you have to do jumping jacks, anytime that you would normally just be able to sit and put your feet up. But maybe you write the alphabet with your toes, or maybe you just roll your shoulders back and open your chest up. We spend so much time like this that our body just starts to think that that's what we want to do all the time, and it puts connective tissue in place to do that. So just even a little subtle movement like that, and then that makes your body more comfortable and have a bigger sense of movement and freedom, that will then beget more and more movement. So morning movement routine, put some attention on the pleasure and the attractiveness of movement, and look for little cues and habits in your external environment to trigger more movement and make your life a more movement-friendly environment. And those things taken together, or in any one little piece, can really do a huge amount to support you growing a better, stronger, more flexible metabolism.